everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Rocky6 and today I'm going to be standing in for your friend Hexa.
Just kidding, it's me, clearly, green hair, who the fuck else has that? But today I wanted to introduce you guys to my drag character. His name is Rocky6, inspired by The Rock, Andy Six, and mostly Kurt Cobain, style-wise. He's a very grungy man. He's a distressed, jaded, damaged teenager. That is my vision for Rocky. But yeah, as you can see, I'm looking pretty manly. I'm quite enjoying it. Today's makeup tutorial is going to be a little bit different. I decided to try out the talk-through makeup tutorial style again, but I'm trying to keep it more concise and less rambly, so we'll hope that worked out. Not much else to say. This is my drag king look. Pretty clear and obvious. If any of you guys are interested in becoming a drag king, or if you just want to find out what the process is like, then keep on watching. This is one of many methods and many styles of drag, but this is just what I like to do and what my drag persona typically ends up looking like. So yeah, if you like this look and you'd like to see how I got it, just keep on watching. So the first thing we're going to be doing is clipping my hair up to get it out of my face. We are not going to be doing hair for my drag look today because there's literally nothing constructive I can teach you about styling hair other than how to make it look terrible, because I can't do hair. Just look at, I can't even clip it up. This is, I'm useless. I can teach you how to dye your hair in insane colors, but can't teach you how to actually make it look nice, style-wise. Anyways, no more rambling. First off, we're going to start with the Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Resist 24 Balancing Softener Enriched. This has such a long name. Just going to put some in my hand and splash it on my face as a kind of like primer and base that's good for my face. Also going to put on a little bit of the Mango Lip Butter by The Body Shop. Next, I'm using the LemonAid Color Correcting Eye Primer by Benefit on my eyelid and under my eyes. You just want to pile this on, put on a lot of it because there's nothing natural about drag. Once you look horrifying, get your damp beauty blender and just buff that in. This is too damp, by the way. Now we're going to take some of the Naked Skin foundation by Decay and put 2 or maybe 3 pumps of that onto the back of my hand. I usually don't use this much, but with drag you really want to go for this like really Ken doll looking skin, so there's nothing natural about it, like I said, so you just really want to pile on your foundation and go for that full coverage look. Make sure you remember to get some of this onto your neck and your ears as well as usual. And also put some around your eye area just to get that to a more natural color. Definitely for using this foundation, I would recommend having your beauty blender slightly more on the dry side so that it doesn't move the foundation around, because it's a very liquid formula as it is. Once you have buffed in your foundation and have a decent coverage, you can go in with your powder. I'm using the D-Slick Mattifying Powder by Decay with a big fluffy brush. You definitely need to set this very carefully. You can use it to set your eye area as well. But yeah, since your foundation is going to be really thick, you want to use a crap ton of powder to make sure it stays matte and stays in place as long as possible. Always remember when you're applying powder to tap, don't rub, like don't do this, no sweeping motions, just like tapping motions, and always keep a lot of product on your brush. Once everything is set with tons of powder, it is time for brows. I'm using the Too Faced Bulletproof Brows in Universal Brunette. The brush from this is super handy dandy. It's a little angled brush with a spoolie on the other end. Basically, for doing a drag king look, what you want to do is follow your natural brows but make them a lot thicker and darker. You can also use the spoolie to kind of just mess them up a little bit and make them look more bushy, because obviously men usually have bushier brows than women. You'll notice that with brows, not only did I make them thicker and darker, but I also made them less angled, like less kind of arched, because men typically don't have a very, very arched brow. They have a slightly more straight brow, so you want to try to fill in some gaps around your arch to make it slightly less arched if you have very arched brows. Next super important thing for drag looks is your contour. I don't have a contour palette, so I'm just going to use bronzer. I'm using the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer. Sorry, I just had to stop filming for a little bit because Mocha needed to go pee. That is my dog, in case you guys don't know. But yeah, like I was saying, we're going to go in with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And the basic idea is you want to create a really sharp bone structure kind of appearance, because usually men have a very sharp bone structure. In women, you can usually only see the curve under the cheekbone, but with men, they have like this very clear cut, like this sort of shape. So that is what you want to create. And since this is drag, it's okay if it's very dark, very dramatic. Do not be afraid to go ham with the contour or the bronzer in my case. I never say go ham. I got that from Manny MUA. So you basically just want to suck in your cheek, and that kind of helps you see the shape you're trying to create. As you can see, it looks very unnatural, but that's okay. The tough part is getting both sides the same, because you're not following your own bone structure, so you have less reference. This stuff is getting in my mouth and it tastes like chocolate. Like, no joke at all. Other than your cheeks, you also want to contour your temples. And last but not least, you need that very cut jawline. I'm starting to think this definitely could have benefited from an actual contour kit, because this is looking very, very orange. But maybe I'll do an updated drag tutorial once I have that in my collection. I did forget one thing. We are not done with the contouring yet. We still have to contour the nose. I don't usually contour my nose in my everyday makeup routine, but for drag it's a little different. You can go a little crazy. Nose contour is just one of those things that is annoyingly easy to fuck up, which is why most of the time I just avoid it or don't do it because I don't need to. Now, highlight is kind of the point of expertise of drag queens, not drag kings, but that doesn't mean that drag kings can't have a little bit of fun as well. So I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Candlelight Glow Highlighter in Warm Glow. And I'm not going to use too much, but just, you know, a little bit to, you know, just glow it up. I think I'm only going to stick to my nose and my cheekbones. Okay, a little bit on the chin, but like, meh, there's not much to do. Now that you've got your really subtle cheek highlight going, I'm going to go in with the eyes. Because your foundation is so thick and cakey and everything else is so over the top and dramatic, even for drag kings, it is recommended that you use a little bit of eyeshadow to make your eyes pop and just get some of that shape and contour back into your eyes. Otherwise, they end up looking very flat and just boring. They don't really pop that much. And since my drag king character is kind of grungy and a little bit rock and roll, I'm also going to use a little bit of black eyeliner. Once I've got my black liner down, I'm just going to smoke it out a little bit with a pencil brush. I got a little bit too much on this inner corner on my left eye, but that's okay. Just gonna smudge that out so that it's not so noticeable. And now I'm gonna pick out a really subtle neutral shade from the Chocolate Bonbons palette. Very beautiful. Last time I did a drag look, I went in with Pecan Praline. Do you say pecan or pecan? Some people say pecan, I don't really know. This time I'm gonna try Almond Truffle up there, the very first shade on the top row. Basically just dust that really, really lightly into your crease to bring some depth back into your eyes. There's literally nothing else you need to do. There's no lid color, just a little bit in the crease to bring some shape back into your eyes. Now, I usually finish off any eye look using mascara, but I feel like mascara is just really feminizing. Like, the elongating of the lashes makes your eyes look really, really feminine and more flirty, so I'm gonna skip the mascara completely, just nothing on my lashes at all. However, I do kind of feel like I need to tightline the upper lash line, so I'm gonna use my black eyeliner again to get just to get it more, I don't know, it's gonna look good. I love sticking things in my eye, it's wonderful. I don't know how this happened, my middle finger just has, why? How did that get there? It's covered in eyeliner, how? I don't, what? Alright, now we're moving on to probably the most difficult and the most important part, which is the facial hair. For this, I'm also going to be using the same products that I used for my eyebrows, so still the Universal Brown Bulletproof Brows and the brush from that set. And I usually like to create like one of those ring beards, just a little ring around my mouth and a little bit down here, and then some sideburns to create a more masculine hairline as well. Typically with this, the smaller the brush and the more strokes you use, the more natural it's gonna look, but I don't have patience and I don't have a small brush, so let's just go with it. While I'm doing this, I'd like to teach you guys a little bit more about drag facial hair techniques. There's lots of different ways that you can do this. You can buy a fake beard and glue it on. You can buy little tiny pieces of hair and just stick those on and create whatever kind of beard you want. One thing that a lot of people do is they ask their hairdresser to keep their trimmings when they get their hair cut, and then they use eyelash glue to stick them onto their face. I would very much like to do that, but I have green hair and I would prefer a brown beard, so it doesn't really work out. I probably should have studied pictures of men with beards a little bit more. Oh no, that's too much. I usually kind of just bring this to a point under my chin and end it there, like so. Don't know if you can see that. I'll fill it in a little bit more. This is essentially a very similar style of facial hair to most of my favorite men. For example, Johnny Depp and Kurt Cobain. They are my facial hair inspiration. I just realized this is kind of asymmetrical. Oh no, Mocha wants to come out into the garden and bark at the other dogs because this is how she socializes. Not happening. No, I'm too busy. No! I need to make my beard perfect. Ugh, now you guys can't see what I'm doing. Oh, that looks better. I think I'm fixing it. With these slightly thicker strokes, though. What's a little bit difficult to work with in regards to this particular product is that it is a clay and so it dries and becomes sort of patchy and unpredictable. So I think I need like a smoother sort of gel. Now I'm also going to go in and just create a really fine line right under the lip. Just along the entire lower lip. And that's just to create a little bit of definition again. I just got some on my lip, but that's fine. So I definitely need to find a smoother product to work with for this, but this will do for now. Before I completely decide to leave the beard alone, I'm just gonna find a nice dark brown in here to kind of just add a little bit more dimension, because if you only have one tone of hair in your beard, it's just kind of, it just doesn't look realistic. So I'm gonna try some of this that's called Malted. It's got a little bit of golden glitter in it, which is gonna throw me off a bit, but you'll work with what you have. I'm actually using this lip brush for this part because it's pretty thin and I think it'll do an okay job for this. So yeah, just in between random short little strokes to define and add some dimension to what you already did. Now that I've kind of finished up the beard, you can see what I do at the bottom. I just kind of make a little point. Now we're gonna move on to the sideburns, which are equally as easy to mess up, but like, come on, I'm pretty okay with this. I'm kind of liking the beard. Could have been better, but it's progress. I'm getting better at this. This is only like the 4th or 5th time I've done drag, so it is a slow learning process, but very rewarding. So again, going in with that Bulletproof Brows product, let's see what we can do. Pray to Jesus for me. This is, ugh, I hate it. This is so annoying. How's this looking, guys? What'd you think? I'm not a man, so I don't have sideburns. If we have any boys watching this, can you guys let me know? Does this look anything like your sideburns? I mean, women have sideburns too sometimes, which is fine. I'm just not one of them, so I have no reference point. What are we thinking? I think the shape is like the hardest part to get down. That's this side. That's this side. Why is my neck? My neck always goes that way much easier. It's weird. We've got some chunks over here. As I said, the texture of this thing is not ideal, but we're working with it. Alright, so I kind of feel I should stop before I completely mess this up. You know how sometimes the more you do it, the worse it gets. Also, I'm starting to sweat, which does not help. And now I'm just going to go over this again in that same shade from the Chocolate Bonbons palette called Malted. Again, just to add like a little bit of dimension and definition. Don't need to do a lot because this already looks pretty okay. And aside from that, most of it is going to be covered up by my hair, probably. Alright, and now the last step to this process is your lips. You know, you don't have to do anything major. I usually just use a very slightly tinted lip balm. This is the Babe Lips or Baby Lips, Babe Lips by Maybelline New York in the color Sweetie Beige. Just to give it a tiny, tiny hint of color so that your lips don't look too flat compared to the rest of your face. Now to get these hair clips out of my hair and see how it looks with the hair. Let's zoom out and see. Oh yeah, I look super manly in this like yoga shirt. But yeah, that was pretty much it. The process of how Hexa becomes Rocky 6. I hope you guys enjoyed this journey with me. If you have any extra questions about drag and all of that, please let me know in the comments below. I would be very happy to talk to you guys about it and answer your questions. Also, I'd like to talk a little bit about how I usually get my chest to look manly. What I do is usually I just pile on a bunch of sports bras that are kind of like undersized, so like really tight sports bras, or I'll probably wear 2 or 3 and just wear like a t-shirt over it so it kind of just completely conceals my curves. Other really commonly used methods of flattening the chest for drag kings include using those like really long wrappable stretchy band things. Usually they're used for like sprained ankles or wrists, and you kind of just use that and you tie it in just around and around your chest. Another method is to tape them down, and that is used for open chest drag. So basically, if you want to have your chest out, you pretty much grab your boobs, you pull them apart, like far apart, and then you tape them down. That's not recommended. It's supposed to be really painful and uncomfortable, but it looks really cool on stage because it's like, oh my god, you're a drag king, we know you have boobs, but somehow they're just like not there because they're hiding somewhere under your armpits. But anyways, I guess that is everything that I had to say about this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more. Again, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! So I was playing around with my makeup after filming the tutorial and everything, and as it turns out, Rocky looks damn good in some neutral smoky eye and eyeliner. I'm kind of liking this like androgynous drag king thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Woo! Another really funny thing that I just forgot to mention while filming is that this is the mug that my brushes were in while filming my drag tutorial, which I think is just freaking hilarious. I really love this mug. So it says Girl Power on the front, obviously, and inside it says light on the sugar, heavy on the spice, and on the back, helpless only when my nail polish is wet. Even then I could pull a trigger if I had to. So yeah, my mom bought me this, I think, and it's from a brand called Our Name is Mud. Yeah, love this mug, super cute. I don't drink tea often enough to get some real use out of it, so I just keep my brushes in it.